This is like take 5. This is Mama Rose, and I am trying to do a video on kefir milk. So, as I said, I'm doing kefir cheese from the kefir milk, which I've got in here, and I'll show you how to do that. There's a couple ways you can make kefir. This is one of them, and I am probably going to post that on another video. And I do have an old video from about a year ago. You can check that out on Rose Condren YouTube channel, and that'll show you how much heavier I was a year ago, and also how I do the kefir with this. I did a whole bunch of kefir. This is the kefir that I just unveiled, and like I said, I got a phone call that came through on this phone, and it cut me off. But I had this in here like this, and I just pretty much dumped it into this bowl. And then, because I want to eat more probiotic things with my food, I've got some sour cream here. I just took some of this and I mixed it in with the sour cream. Now, next time I go to use the sour cream, it's going to have some of this kefir cheese in it, and it's going to give my gut some extra bacteria, extra good bugs that it needs. So that's one way to go. And I also wanted to show you that when I do this, I flavor it with a whole bunch of different things. And so this can be kind of like a dessert. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that first. And I know my friend Beverly always says, do another video where you show me how to flavor it. Now this is a sweetener. This is one of the ones I like. You can get pumpkin spice, and oh my gosh, they have Valencia orange. Yesterday I made this with Valencia orange. In fact, I think it was so good, I think I'm going to do the Valencia orange again, because I used my Young Living essential oil, and this is the old bottle and this is the new bottle. They last forever though if you have an old bottle. So what I did is to sweeten it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I know that sounds like a lot, huh? 15 drops of this right here. There you go. And you can use any flavor at all. I like doing lemon. If I do lemon, I don't bother to buy a lemon sweetener, because I always use my Young Living essential oil whenever I want to make anything lemon flavor, because I get the benefit from it, you know, nutritionally wise, or you know, a health benefit from it. And also it's got a really great flavor. But in the case of an orange, you don't want to eat an orange either. So I just do this with the orange. And then, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I like it a lot of orange. And then, let me see how this tastes here. Now, if I was on a cooking show, I'd get in big trouble for that. I watched a cooking show once where they ate with the spoon and then stirred it. Big faux pas. But I stuck my finger in there, so don't tell any of those fancy chefs. Now, I think it needs a little something extra. So a true orange Julius wouldn't be the same without vanilla. So just because I want to sweeten it a little bit more, I'm going to use something like this. Now, I like this brand, this La Canto. And I'll show you some sweeteners later. I've got a whole bunch here ready to show you. But this one's vanilla. You can get all kinds of vanilla flavored liquid stevia sweeteners. There's like 3 drops in there. I'm going to go easy on it and stir this up again. But you get the idea. So this is, here, I'll use a different finger this time. Oh, what a great combo. With the orange, I'm going to put 1 more drop in. With the orange and the, 2 dropped in. But that's good. With the vanilla. The vanilla and the orange flavor are so wonderful. Look at that. Now, I know that. I'll use a different finger this time. All right. That's wonderful. So later tonight when we want a snack, or maybe right after dinner to help us with our digestion, or to give some added stuff to it, or maybe right before our meal, whatever, we'll go ahead and maybe have some of this as a dessert. Now, if you are doing keto, you can put some berries in with that, and that's a really great, that's a nice thing to give company. You take it, you get a nice little a little cup like, let me grab one here for you. These are cute. You get something like this, and you can put some fruit, because you're not going to use a lot of that. I mean, it's kind of hard to do, you know, as you can see the process and the milk that you got to use. You could put a little fruit in the bottom of here, this, and put a little sweetener like this on it. And I've got a whole bunch of sweeteners here that I was going to kind of share the gambit on all the different sweeteners. So I'm just going to lift this up to show you. Look at all the different choices. This is without using the real artificial ones like Splenda and Equal and Sweet and Low and those kind of things. These are more natural. This one is my favorite. This one, I love the taste of it. I love the smell of it. It's a little bit more expensive because I have not been able to find it in bulk. But the beauty of it is that it's 2 for 1. So for every 1 teaspoon or tablespoon a recipe calls for, this is 2. So if it calls for a cup of something, you only need half a cup. So anyway, I like this, and I usually am a little bit heavier on the sweetener than I need to be sometimes. But you can sprinkle a little of this on it as well, and on the fruit if it needs it. But put some fruit on it. I wouldn't put anything on it, but put some fruit in it. Put a big dollop of that kefir, whipping kefir cheese stuff on it, and then some more fruit. And if you want to stretch that, a really great idea is to do some heavy whipping cream. And you're making the heavy whipping cream probiotic by putting it in with the kefir. In fact, what I love to do is I put my kefir grains in heavy whipping cream, and then I whip that whipping cream up, and I have kefirized heavy whipping cream, and boy, is that awesome. You can put that on some fruit. You can eat it plain. You can mix it with your kefir, and then you get all those benefits along with it, and it stretches it. So it's kind of neat to get, because the cultures work a little different. Every time you put them in a little different milk, there's different enzymes, different things going on in the cream. There's different things going on in the milk, and it's just nice to get the different. You'll see how thick it gets too. That when you kefirize heavy whipping cream, it's super thick. So anyway, that's a nice way to use your little compost cups when you have company. And I have never had anybody come that I fed that to that didn't like it. Even though it is a bacteria that you're feeding them, they don't seem to object. They really like it a lot. So you can try to find another name, maybe call it cultured, and that would be good. And of course, my email address for any comments or, you know, friendly chats is keto and cultured. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and continue. I'm kind of all over the place, with this. And we're going to go ahead and continue making this kefir cheese right here, because this is just so easy to do. So I'm trying to get this back in place. You know, I kind of got it discombobulated a little. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera back down. This is so easy. I mean, it's just... So I emptied this, you know, and I got this. You remember, I got this, and I flavored this, so that's ready to go. Now, when you watch my other video, if you do, I have quite a few kefir grains in my jar, and I don't want to have to strain them out. Now, if you watch other people with their kefir grains, they'll put them in a strainer, a plastic one. This is stainless steel, but they'll pour them in something like this, and they keep moving this spoon around until all the milk goes through, and then they have the kefir grains left. Well, I don't want to mess with that. If you end up with a lot of them, you can get little muslin bags for making tea, loose tea, and you can culture them just fine in there. Like I said, if you watch the other video that I did last year, you'll see that's what I was doing. But in this case, because I'm working with just 2 grains in here, they're pretty easy to find. So I'm going to move the camera down and see if I can't show you that as I pull these out. I don't have my glasses on either, but see, I can see here's one here. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. See, here's one here. Let's see if I can find the, oh, see, you can tell the texture's a little different in there. And here's the other one here. And so I'm going to switch over here, move the camera. See? And I just put them in the top. That way I don't have to keep dirtying everything, which I do a lot of. I dirty a lot. I make a lot of messes. Anyway, here is, I put it in the top. I don't have to wash it off or anything. Whatever cultures are in here, as long as they keep getting fed, they're going to keep alive. They're not going to spoil. When your stuff spoils is when all the enzymes in there, all the cultures have eaten up all the lactose and the caseins in the milk, then it's going to start spoiling because there's no food left. So if you are lactose intolerant, this is nice because you can have this because it's taking care of that. It's, if you go to buy kefir milk at the store, like they have it at Trader Joe's and stuff, it'll say lactose free. That's because the kefir grains, they've eaten the lactose. That's the food they're eating. They're eating the sugars in the milk. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt this a little. So I'm just going to pour it in here, and you'll see it's kind of clumpy. Sometimes it's in big chunks, big chunks. This one didn't come out in big chunks. So if when the summer, it'll culture a lot faster. If I leave it in here, it smells good. If I leave it in here in the jar, maybe for another 3 or 4 hours, it'll probably thicken more. But I don't care. Tomorrow, now I put this away in the refrigerator. Tomorrow, when I get this out, I'm going to go ahead and make some more of this. So if you want a huge amount of the kefir cheese, you got to use more milk. But right now, this is plenty for us. I can get carried away, and I'm giving it away, and it's costing me a fortune in milk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run and get the milk really quick. And like I say, normally I will use, grass-fed. I'll use some nice raw milk. But, right now I'm just using this organic milk from Trader Joe's. And you always want to use whole milk. Whole milk is good. So you want to do this with the whole milk. And when you do the milk, you don't want ultra pasteurized. I want to repeat, do not use ultra pasteurized because of what they've done to the milk with the hot, heating it so much. No bacteria can grow in it. I mean, that's why they do it, so that it'll last forever on the shelf or in your refrigerator. We want this good bacteria to get it, to grow, and it's going to have a hard time. I have known people that have used it and it's worked, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. So I wouldn't get ultra pasteurized. So you got your stuff right here, dirty jar and all. You don't have to clean it. If you want to, you can. On this, I'm only using 2 cups because I'm going to finish this off. It'll just take a little longer to culture because I only have 2 of the kefir grains. And so, you have to kind of judge. I've done all kinds of where it tells you a tablespoon for every cup of milk. You need a tablespoon of kefir grains. But I find that that's way too much. I would go on the side of less kefir grains. So, if you're doing this, you're going to order your kefir grains from somebody, and they're going to go ahead and give you instructions on how to do it. Or if somebody gives you these kefir grains, they're going to tell you how to do it with a ratio. So I'm not going to go into that with you right now, but this is all I do. I take this, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to go. You're used to looking at my cupboards. Right? If you've seen my YouTube channel at all, here we go. This is the cupboard I use. I just put it in here. Now tomorrow, it's 2:30, so I'm not going to be around tomorrow. I'm going to go to California tomorrow for a couple days, and so I am going to probably bring that with me when I go. I'll have to bring it with me when I go, and I'll probably end up leaving it there because I'm going to see my niece, and maybe this is something she'd like to do. But anyway, I have to bring it with me and tend to it. It's alive. And it's funny when I travel sometimes for a conference or something, and if I'm gone 2 or 3 days, I'll bring all that with me, and I have this little laboratory going somewhere in the hotel, and I'll come into the hotel and I'll clean everything first. I get my thieves cleaner. I bring my thieves cleaner from Young Living, and I clean everything in there, and then I've got my kefir grains going, and I usually like to get a refrigerator so that whenever I got my product like this, I can use it. Now, if that happens and you don't want to be a nut like me and take it with you, then just put it in the refrigerator and let it, you can go up to a week at a time and then change it. So good luck with this. You can sweeten this with all kinds of other things as well, but I'm going to stop this right now at 15 minutes, and I'm going to go in and do a new one with the sugars, with the sweeteners. I shouldn't say sweet sugar, but with the sweeteners, and then I'm going to go ahead and post that, so to show you what I use on that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you can. I'm trying to get my numbers up a little bit. So thanks a lot, and I will catch you next time.